Got into an argument with wife and she threatened to out my sexuality. This is already off to a terrific start. Now I'm afraid she'll out I'm bisexual. I, male 23, and my wife, female 22. Why are y'all out here getting married so young? You're basically babies. Just side note, has nothing to do with anything, but you can't wait until your frontal lobe is finished developing at least. You don't know what you're doing. You don't even know who you are yet. Had an argument and now I don't know what to do. Any help? Okay, before I even get into the context, my knee-jerk reaction is divorce the bitch. And I don't really, what else is there to say? That's disgusting to threaten someone with. Me and my wife have been having trouble with a new dog lately, and she has not had any patience when it comes to the dog. I had been trying to sleep after working nights, and my wife just began screaming and cussing at the dog very loudly. She has done this multiple times in the past few months. Absolutely divorce this bitch before she hurts the dog, and I better not see that anywhere in this chunk of a paragraph, because I will find this bitch myself and I will off, Nat. And her anger issues have been getting worse. I got up and told her if it happens again, I will get rid of the dog. So your wife is very blatantly the problem and you're going to take it out on the dog? Because I'm not dealing with her anger anymore. She told me that if I get rid of the dog, she'll divorce me. And I said, you'd really divorce me over a dog? After some back and forth, she said, with the dirt I have on you, what little friends you do have, I'll make sure you have nothing left. I'm a closeted bisexual, and we live in a very conservative area where everyone we know judges harshly on non-straight people. So I feel like her threat was towards outing me. Even if it's a shallow threat, no. Because what kind of person even thinks that way? And these words have felt like a hammer to my heart. This was the worst, most hateful thing she has ever spoken to me in the 4-ish years we've been together. After talking a bit more, I asked if she was happy with me anymore, and she said, I don't know. I don't recognize her as the woman I married anymore. If we were just dating, I would have broken up with her on the spot, but being married, I don't know what to do. Whenever I am near her now, my heart just feels completely broken. Need help, please. I've been looking at r/ relationships a lot lately, and a lot of them are so obvious. It's I know you know what the answer is, and I feel like you're coming to the internet, whether it's conscious or not, I feel like you're desperately hoping at least one person will be no, you can survive this. You're looking for one reason to stay, one reason to validate the reluctance that you feel, but that's no. Please, people, please learn to separate your heart from your brain. Logically, you have to know that this is wrong. So you can kiss the rest of your life goodbye if you stay with this person. She has anger issues and she is threatening to out the person she supposedly loves more than anyone else on this planet. She threatened to ruin your friendship and your life, all for getting rid of a pet that is clearly causing division in your relationship. You're both young and inexperienced. I'm 41, engaged to the love of my life, 31. I would never, ever, ever do anything to hurt her. We've been together 5 years. Haven't fought. I don't really care. But I could not imagine threatening my best friend in that way. It just physically could not come out of my mouth. That's what I'm saying. Even if it wasn't someone that you claim to care about, threatening to out someone? No. You're a piece of shit. You don't do that. You are so young. Do you want this to be the rest of your life? There are no magic words you can say or actions you can take to resolve this, because the other person involved is immature, angry, selfish, and hurtful, among many other things. And that is the thing. You cannot beg someone to be better. They have to make that decision. And if they do not want to be better, you cannot make them be better. And why would you put up with that? Don't you think you deserve more than that? Think you deserve more than that. Get those self-esteem levels up. There are so many just bad relationship stories, and I sincerely feel like it's because people aren't comfortable being single. And it's just be single. You do not have to settle for a psycho just so you're not alone. It is not that bad. I promise. You should divorce. This is what happens when kids get married. That is what I said. Next step would be to grow up before getting into a new relationship. I agree. Quoting the post, if we were just dating, I would have broke up with her on the spot, but being married, I don't know what to do or say. That tells me that you know exactly what to do. It's just that it's going to take more time and money than a simple breakup. So I think you know it, but I'll say it outright. This isn't about your sexuality, and it's not about the dog. Not being in the room, I don't know what the argument was like or what your side was, but it's pretty plain that the communication you two have during a disagreement is toxic. You threaten each other with ultimatums and seem to look for ways to hurt/punish each other rather than resolve your conflict. Equating saying, I'll get rid of the dog that you're verbally abusing with, I will out you because you're pissing me off, is insane. Saying, I'll just get rid of the dog if you hate it so much, is not toxic. That's not going to get better without effort and probably requires outside perspective and help. Okay, but even if this was a simple communication issue, that kind of has nothing to do with what's going on. Threatening to endanger someone's life isn't toxic, it's downright evil. Yes, OP may have some things to work on, but staying isn't worth it. Exactly. Yeah, you're insane. The person who said, you're both in the wrong. No, don't do that. My husband said he regrets missing out on dating others. Am I overreacting? Sorry, this is going to be long, but has some necessary context. My 28 female husband, 29 male, and I got married in March this year after having been together since we were 16. We were high school sweethearts, and the relationship blossomed into a beautiful relationship where we respected and learned from each other, and we were very open about our feelings and communication. We don't have kids, but bought a house together. We were each other's first for a lot of things. It was as close to perfect as I could imagine. At the start of 2024, after an accident where I nearly died, I'm all good now, he developed quite debilitating anxiety and a panic disorder to the point where he was barely functional. He's been seeing a psychologist, which has helped. Through this entire period, I have been his pillar, his support person. Okay. Prioritizing him above all else, including my own mental health. It was really hard, but he's in a much, much better place now, thankfully. So you literally almost died, yet dropped everything to make sure he felt okay. And it's like, you survived. Of course, it must be f***ing freaky to not even be 30. And the person that you swore to be with forever almost died. But also, like getting extremely anxious after that, completely valid. But also, letting her drop everything to take care of you when she's the one who almost died is weird. And I mean, putting him above your own mental health is your choice. It's the wrong choice. But, I don't know. I can't stand people in relationships, man. Like, what is it? What is it about getting into a relationship that makes so many people just abandon self-care or self-worth or self-esteem? Why would you almost died and your mental health isn't at least as important as his? You completely shoved it aside for him? Like, what? To me, that sounds like brainworms. Literally a couple weeks after we got married, he brought up some feelings of regret of not having had the opportunity to date other people and that he wished we met later in life so he could have crossed off the dating box. I'm going to try to hold on to that thought. I put aside my own feelings and tried to understand his perspective but could not. I asked him if he would break up to date other people and he immediately said no. Over the next couple of weeks, I found myself thinking really insecure thoughts. We'd moved to a new city and he expressed a desire to meet fellow expats and downloaded Bumble for Friends. He got chatting, met an expat male, and said that meeting new people through Bumble seems to satisfy his dating desire because it was fun learning new things about total strangers. He also went out for dinner with a female. Why are you... I mean, female's not a red flag because this person also said male. But, like, why are you doing that? It's just... People don't usually do that. And did not ask if I was okay with it. When I asked him what he wanted to stay in this relationship or to date others, he said he didn't know. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say the thought. Hey, did you like and subscribe yet? If people would just admit that they're not monogamous instead of trying to force themselves to be monogamous, because monogamy is the only thing that's been normalized for however long. And I don't think humans were ever meant to be one of them. I think it was just forced on them. And if some of y'all could just admit that we do not fit the mold that has been forced upon us mostly by religion and misogyny, we wouldn't have so many of these problems. We wouldn't have so much cheating. Like, do you know how common cheating is, yet everyone says it's bad? Drives me absolutely bonkers, but like, just admit that you're not monogamous. Over the next 2 weeks and more emotionally charged conversations saying he loves me more than anything and he wants the relationship but is unsure why his regret for dating is so strong. I don't believe his words anymore. I asked him to do some soul searching and understand what he really wants, but he has put this off for a week now. I feel like I'm clearly not priority and frankly feel like I'm in the way of his happiness, and I would rather be alone than feel like I'm being an obstacle to what he thinks will make his life fulfilling. Am I overreacting and feeling this way? Do people in committed relationships feel like this? I don't think you're overreacting. But I don't think that, I also feel, like, hey, I have no experience. I have had one relationship in my early 20s, and I don't really have any plans to be in another one. It's all so unappealing to me. But I feel like this progression makes sense. There was really no breathing room. Sure, you can grow together, but like, you haven't gone off and experienced like different types of romantic love and dating and even sexuality like differently on your own. It's just always been together. I think it makes sense that it might start to feel a little, I don't want to say like old, because it does sound like he still cares. It's just that you can love more than one person at a time. You can absolutely love the person you're with, but wish that you could experience more with other people. I don't know. OP, I think you might be way, way too worried about his feelings and not worried enough about your own. That's what I went on a whole rant about. There's an awful lot of I put aside my own feelings in this post. As far as I can tell, you had an awful accident where you almost died, and then you had to comfort him about it. I'm not downplaying his anxiety. Oh my god, did I write this? I'm glad he got help, but I'm worried about the part where you've been prioritizing him over my own mental health. Even while considering leaving him, you're still putting his feelings first, worrying that you're in the way of his happiness. What if you started making him be in charge of his own happiness and you can start prioritizing your own, whatever that looks like to you? Exactly. This person couldn't have said it any better, I think. Like, that is not healthy. It is simply not healthy to never put yourself first, or even at least see your own needs as equal to your partner's. That is not healthy. And we do not know these people. We're not in the room with them. But I haven't read anything about him reciprocating all of that effort. Like, what was he doing when you were recovering from literally almost losing your life? You almost left this plane of existence and moved on. What did he do? He should be discussing his regret in therapy. There's absolutely no legit reason to change anything in your relationship or for him to serially see other people. And if he keeps pushing for anything, you would be very justified in divorcing him. I mean, I think that would be kind of a crazy thing to hide from your partner. And if you're hiding it from your partner and then going off and like finding new friends on what is known as a dating app, Bumble does have like a friend section, but like, if you're doing that and you haven't expressed that like you feel unfulfilled, you realize how that would come across, right? I do think that is you should bring it up in therapy, but it's also not something that you should hide from your spouse. You can do both. There are some things that like you're going to feel like you can't talk to other people about, and that's what you bring up in therapy. But I do think you should have multiple support systems. I don't think it should ever always come down to just one person. Obviously, there are things where professional help is required. But like this, I don't think you should hide that like you feel like you want to date other people. That's something that you need to talk about. Discuss an open relationship. Damn!